I started to get scared a little bit. I think was it that Friday or Saturday where we went from what was it, like we settled at 17%, then went up to 25, 26, yeah, and then back down. That was on the 10th, so Saturday, yeah. And that, I don't know what was going on exactly. I know that we were talking about the protests are very big and people are tracking the flights and everything. But I know that
Mm.
in our chat, 50 pence was like, hey, there's really no reason for the price to be moving. This is just like hive mind, the name of our show. Everyone
Yeah.
getting on one side, and not everyone sharp, every one of the squares, because if you look at the top holders, you have all the sharpest. Don't want to admit it. All the top traders on no. If you have a profile picture, you're probably a top trader, right? Except Sailor Moon over here, who is both not sharp and and doesn't have a profile photo. Anyways, so yeah, the top guys are on no, and it ended up settling back down. Yeah, we're at 82. So what's the current state of the race?
Well, I don't know. I'm just happy. I mean, happy again. This is a market where shouldn't be saying it like this. But like in terms of my bets, it's finally starting to come around. I think that the peak of the protests it really seemed to be. I think it was like Friday or Saturday. I think it was Friday or something, and then they really cracked down. I think the last 5 or 6 days or something, right? The internet was turned off, and then when they turned off the internet, then you knew like, okay, now shit's going to get really ugly, because they turned off the light for a reason, right? It's the literal purge, which is obviously well, let's not go there. But anyway, this like already made me think, okay, here we will at least preliminarily top. And now in terms of products, it's they cracked down. They want to turn on the internet soon. They also, what I expected them to do, they reached out to the US. But Trump said, like, we will still hit you, maybe, because there's always a maybe with him, but we might still hit you,
Two
but
weeks,
they
two
want to
weeks.
talk, and Trump obviously, he always talks to anyone.
Yeah.
So yeah, like there's many different ways how this can go. I think, I don't know. I mean, I still need to really, I want to write a deep dive on it because it also helps my own thinking and my own betting specifically. Like my intuition for now is US will hit them.
Mm-hmm.
When exactly, I don't know. How exactly, I'm also not sure, but I would be surprised if it's not kinetic. I mean, it was, like Trump said, we're gonna hit them hard, and now he's on this, like gambler's high. He's had only successful missions. Although, like the question is, how do you actually help the movement there, right?
Yeah.
It's not. It's an entirely different topic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they will hit them, but then they will try. This will be like punishment. I think the Trump sees this, like we will punish you for killing all these people. We hit you, don't hit back. If you don't hit back, we're gonna talk. If you do hit back, then we're gonna hit you harder. This is kind of what it seems to be right now.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it feels like the consensus is at least that Khomeini will stay in, but all of these markets about strikes. I still have no on most of it, and on Saturday, I remember I was talking about, hey, I should dump here at 79 and rebuy lower. I did that for the other markets. So U.S. strikes Iran. I had bought some yes, and then sold it higher. Like I was doing a good job trading the volatility, but to think that, hey, we have Khomeini out at 31, we have regime fall, I think, at 13, 12, but we still
Mm.
have Israel and US strike trading in the 30s and 40s, right? By the end of the month. So those,
Mm.
I had I had asked last week, like, how correlated are all of these together? And I guess they weren't as correlated as I thought, because I'm thinking, hey, if US is going to strike, why wouldn't they just do everything at once? Like, what is the US going to strike, if not in order to get the regime to fall?
Yeah,
What is the
I
point
mean,
of
I
what are
read
we
a
arguing
good.
about here? You know?
That's the thing. I read a good tweet on that, and this is, like the problem with like with Middle East and especially with this situation is like you can read obviously endlessly. So I will see how I can, like just contain it a bit.